Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you using Tiger Balm and stuff like that? Like any type of ointment?
No, I can't reach the place. I guess I could.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, you can totally do it. Totally. Yes. Okay. Welcome to the ZMY Begin class. Lie down. Have your strap nearby though, so you can reach it easily when we're on our backs. I'm just gonna grab my strap real quick so you guys can follow along with me. I don't like colorful pants. Okay, so knees bent, feet apart, let the knees hang together. Just let the femurs sink back into the sockets, release the lower back, feel that release. And you might need to adjust your feet, you know, further forward or further or closer to the body, just to feel so that your legs are relaxing. This shouldn't be a big effort. And so we'll go ahead and put our hands on our belly, or you can also just lay them next to the body, just so we can feel the breath and be in touch with the breath. Shoulder blades are flat on the mat. You're still going to have a little bit of a curve underneath the back, which is normal. And just begin to breathe. Anything that has happened before you arrived on your mat today, we're just going to leave that in the past, doesn't exist anymore. This next hour is to focus on you and being in touch with yourself, to see your growth in your practice, or to just be happy moving the body. But either way, we're not going to take ourselves too seriously today. Now I want you to begin to pay attention to the end of your exhale and that pause before you take your new breath. So as you exhale and empty the lungs, feel that stillness and that extra layer of release before the new breath comes on its own. See if you can identify that. We're just going to breathe a few breaths and feel that. Sometimes when I'm focusing on this type of breathing, feels like the new breath is never going to come. It just feels very settled and slow. So don't force the new breath to come. Let it come when it wants. We'll do this a few more times. Feeling the entire body release at the end of that exhale. And then go ahead and take a deep breath in. Just fill the lungs all the way up to the collarbones. Bring your arms overhead, straighten the legs, take a long stretch. Keep the arms overhead so we can take the right foot and put it in the right corner of the mat. We're gonna just come into a crescent stretch here. So left foot is gonna cross over that right ankle. And then you're gonna grab the left wrist with your right hand, of course, and lean to the right. So the feet and the hands are going in the same direction, and we're making this opening or curve of the left side of the body. I'm gonna take a few breaths here. This is actually just a really nice way to end the Saturday classes, because the first two classes we have here are a bit more intense. So this feels good for me too. Come back to center, bring the top foot to the left corner now, and then cross over. Grab the right wrist, everything goes to the left. Open up the right side of the body. And go ahead and come back to center. Bend the knees. And then we're going to take the strap that we have and put it around the ball of the right foot. Okay. So I'm going to have you straighten this right leg first, keeping the left knee bent, and just grab the strap with the right hand. The left hand's just going to, it could go on the floor, it could go on the left leg. If your leg is straight and your knee, your left knee, hold on, let me start that over. Start to straighten your left leg. And if this is not good for your right leg, then keep the knee bent. Like if your hamstrings are really tight, it might start to pull behind your knee, and we don't want to pull behind the knee. We want to stretch in the hamstrings, maybe the calf muscle. So you can keep that left knee bent if that pull is happening. Press the heel up towards the ceiling, and the strap is here. So maybe your leg doesn't straighten all the way. Maybe it comes down here still. That's fine. The strap is to make your arm longer. Wherever your leg is straight is fine. We'll take one more breath here. Okay, so now we're going to bring it out to the side and bend this right knee a little bit. Do straighten the left leg now for sure. And then bring the leg out to the right. We're trying to keep the left hip down most of the way. It's going to lift a little bit. You can use your hand to support that. And with the right leg, you're going to have these muscles engage on the inner thigh, the adductors. We are relying on the strap, but not too much. Bring that leg back to center. And now we're going to switch hands. You can go back to bending the knee if you need to. Switch hands. The right arm is going to extend out. And now we're going to take this right leg over the center line just a little bit. Keep the right hip glued down until you feel a stretch in this. There's a muscle that leads into your IT band that you might be feeling. You might feel it all the way down to your ankle. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then come back to center, bend the knee, and release the strap. Release the strap. Do the same thing on the other side. So you can start with your knees bent, put the strap around the left leg, hold the strap with your left hand as far up as you can go, keeping the leg straight. Right hand is down, knee is bent, or the leg is straight. Take a few breaths here. Kind of notice what you're doing with your neck. So if your chin is lifted a lot, the neck is going to be, imagine you're standing up straight. So you want to keep the neck as neutral as possible. Keep the chin down a little bit. Let's take it out to the left. So very slowly, straighten the right leg, bring the left leg out to the side. Your legs are shaking a little bit, that's fine. It just means you're doing it right. And then use the strength of the inner thigh to bring it back to center. You can bend this right knee again if you need to, and then cross the leg over the center line. Your right hand is going to be holding the strap for this. The left arm can be straight or down, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, come back to center, bend the knee, and release the strap. Keep this knee up by you. You're gonna join the other knee up to the body and then rock left to right. You can also hold on to the knees and draw circles on the ceiling, just rotating the hips, clockwise and counterclockwise. And then bring the feet down. We're gonna cross the left leg over the right. Now that your legs are opened up a little bit and the hips are opened up a little bit, we're gonna do this one where it's like you're sitting in a chair crossing the legs, and we're just gonna drop the knees off to the right. So it's a pretty deep twist, only do what you can. But what this is gonna do is really get into your shoulder too. If your pectoral muscles are tight, like Kate, do you feel this in the front of your arm?
Yes.
Okay. Is this where you feel the soreness though in your shoulder? Or is it mostly the back by the, like a different area?
It's like kind of below the shoulder bone.
Okay. So you can extend the arms straight out, or you can bend at the elbows, and that'll lengthen the front of the body a little bit more by the left shoulder right now. We're going to take a few breaths here. Okay, good. On your next exhale, go ahead, bring the arms down. Always engage the abdominals. Don't bring yourself back to center with your back muscles. Use the belly. So back to center, uncross the legs. Your hips are probably going to be off-centered, so center them. And then take the right leg over the left. Drop the knees to the left. And then extend the arms straight out. We're trying to stretch the right shoulder now. So your hand can be, like your palm can be on the floor, that's fine. If your palm is facing up, your shoulder will drop closer to the floor, which is what we would like. And if you don't feel too much of a stretch, you can bend the elbows, and that'll bring it deeper for you. We're going to come out of this safely. So engage the abdominals, bring the arms down, bring the knees back up towards the ceiling. Okay. Separate the feet, drop the knees back and forth a little bit. Just twist the hips here, like windshield wiper legs. Just alternate dropping the knees. And then we're going to stop, roll on to our side, and come up. And have a seat. I'm going to actually shut this window. Are you chilly?
No.
Okay. I'm always cold.
Yes.
Cross the legs, uncomfortable leg on top. Inhale, bring the arms up. Palms together, exhale, hands in front of the heart. 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Like really open up the lungs and reach as high as you can. Exhale down. And last time, inhale, reach up. And exhale down. Hands to the floor. We're going to walk the fingertips forward. And just go as far as you can. It doesn't matter how far you go. If you can fold all the way over, great. We're trying to stretch the back, and then also you'll feel it probably maybe in the hamstrings or the outer hip. You'll feel it where you need it. When you get there, take some breaths. And try to go back to that breath where you're feeling the full exhale, that pause. And then inhale, look up and start to walk the hands back. Cross the legs to the other side because that'll make a difference. Inhale, bring the arms up. Same thing, 3 breaths here, exhale down. You can have the eyes closed if you want, just focus internally. Exhale down. Full breaths, 1 more. Inhale, reach up. And exhale down. Open your eyes, bring the hands to the floor, and start to walk forward. So even if the upper body feels the same, the legs might feel different. And maybe you can even reach further. I know for me, even when I cross my legs the other way, the same leg, my right leg still feels the same stretch on both sides. My left leg is more open. Take another breath or two. If you push your hands into the floor and press the sitting bones back, you can open up the shoulders a little bit. Inhale, lift the head, walk the hands towards the body. Okay, uncross the legs and bend the knees. Straighten the left leg. We're just gonna do like a seated pigeon. So right ankle to left knee. And do you see, like automatically, look at my shoulders. This is the real Jennifer. See how much I have to combat? You know, my body just wants to do these things. It's so normal. So if you can, have your fingertips facing towards the body, because when your shoulders are internally rotated, that allows the shoulder blades to give your body the support when you're bearing weight. So fingertips towards the body. All right, so we're gonna bend this left knee and just keep the right foot flexed. Try to bring the left heel as close to the body as you can until your right leg tells you to stop. And also try to keep the chest lifted. And like those, blocks are a good idea if you have blocks, if you need to lift the chest a little bit higher. When you're on the blocks, do you feel the same kind of deep stretch in the legs?
No, because I can't even bring my legs closer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Take another breath or two here. Trying to see where your legs are, Sammy. And then we'll just notice the difference. Go ahead and straighten the left leg, uncross. You can bounce the knees a little bit because that's a pretty deep flexion of the leg. And then cross the left ankle onto the right. Keep this left foot flexed right out of the gate, and then start to slide the heel towards the body. There shouldn't be pain in the knees for this. Like sometimes we feel a stretch in the knees. Sometimes we feel pain in the knees because our legs are tight, but it should feel safe. So just make sure you listen to that. Take a few more breaths. We'll sit up nice and tall. And then go ahead and flatten this right leg, uncross, shake the legs out a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and come to hands and knees. We will do Betalasana, and then we're gonna do gate pose. So that hopefully, I mean, like I said, if we're focusing on the shoulders, that should help us drop the shoulders back and forth a little bit first. And then we'll go into our cat pose. So knees hip width apart, hands, fingers are spread, hands are shoulder width apart. Press the roots of the fingers. So like the opposite side of the knuckles in the palm. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, and lift the chin. And then exhale, like a wave, drop the tailbone, and then the head last. When you inhale, the head is actually going to be the last thing that comes up. It's going to be the last thing that comes up, and it'll be the last thing that hangs down. Just keep going with your breath back and forth. This pose never gets old, and it's so useful. I mean, yes. If you pick one yoga pose to do, like this might not relieve a ton of pain in the hips or something like that, but it's going to keep your spine mobile, you know, and that's really a big problem as we get older. Yeah. Oh, does it? Good. Okay, another breath or two, and then we'll just meet with a flat back. Okay. Bring your knees, well, I guess they can still stay hip width apart, but we're going to curl the toes under, and sit back on the heels. And this is just to stretch the toes out. I think both of you are pretty, this is still uncomfortable for you?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, I mean, even if you're down here for support and just go as far as you can, totally fine.
This stretches my feet when I go out.
It just hurts. Okay. We want it to feel like a stretch, not like a hurt. So Sammy, it looks like you're all the way up. And when you're up here, because it's not like super comfortable, but if you can smash your toes just back and forth, just big toe to pinky toe, just try to stretch that fascia band and the foot and the toes. And then bring your hands back to the ground and uncurl the toes and tap the tops of the feet just to loosen them up. I guess it's not really going to loosen up your toes, but it feels good. Okay, so now we're going to come up to knees. And I think you're on carpet. Your mat is good. My knees actually kind of hurt a little bit. Maybe I should get a blanket. I'm not going to get a blanket though. Okay, so we're going to do gate pose. We'll start with the left leg, even though mostly we start with the right. I want you to be able to see me better. There's a couple ways to do this, okay? So the hips stay forward no matter what. If it's easier for you to have your foot pointing forward on the floor, on the ground, do that. The legs stay strong. If you are able to press the toes out towards the floor, then do that. Yeah, because the thing, like for me, my knee is going in a totally different direction than my toes are going. Yours is actually lined up with your ankle. My knee is not lined up with my ankle. Well, that's because your foot is bent. And that's my point. I'm going to bend my foot because my knee lines up with the ankle better. But some people have extra stretchy feet and can do that. And then their reverse planks look totally beautiful too. Okay. Left hand is going to rest on the leg. Not pressing, we're not pressing on that knee joint, just rest on the leg. Inhale the right arm up and then exhale, lean to the left. So opening up the right side of the body, like deeply in the hips. Where is this? You feel it in your arm? Okay. Bring your pinky towards the ground a little bit. Can you sink the shoulder back? Because the alignment will help it heal at least. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go the other way. So if you might want to use your block. Bring your right hand down. Sammy, I don't think you'll need anything extra. Yeah, just bring it down and then left arm up and over. Yeah. Good.
I really like strengthening yoga, like all of the half.
Come back up. Yes, you need a recovery yoga practice too. Doesn't that feel so good? I just feel so good. Because honestly, you're strengthening there too. That takes plenty of strength, you know? Yeah, yeah. Especially when I have the heat going on me right next to you. Okay, so right leg out to the side. Remember, just find your hip points and keep them pointing straight forward as much as you can. The thing that's going to keep the hips grounded and the strengthening happening is not if we're like lazy leg. We have to, I guess lazy is not a good word. We just need a strong leg. Okay, right hand rests on the right leg. Inhale the left arm up. And then exhale, lean this handle, slide down, but it's not putting pressure. Oh man, and so I can tell that this side is much tighter for me because of my hip flexor. I don't know if it's my psoas or what, but I feel like I'm like straight up and down right now. It's just something to observe. Okay, left hand is gonna come all the way down and then right arm up and over. That also takes a lot for your calf muscles to keep you up too, if you're pressing the foot down. Reach, strong arm through the right fingertips. Yep, and pinky towards the ground.
Yeah, even just a stretch, I mean, you can tell that, you know, it's just yoga, it's just stretching, but even just stretching.
Yes. Inhale, come up. All right, so back to hands and knees. We're gonna come up into down dog. Before we come up into down dog, can we just take the tops of the hands and stretch the wrist? So take the top of the right hand, press into the mat, shift your weight back. The more you shift your weight back and keep the arm straight, the more deeply of a stretch you'll feel. The more deeply of a stretch you'll feel. The more deeply you'll stretch. and then release, shake that out. This is important in the beginning. It really is, because your wrists are not used to taking on the things that the poses require, you know, coming in a down dog even, that can, it's just, the wrists feel a bit weak in the beginning. Sometimes, not always. Yeah. Andre the Giant wrist. Okay, go ahead and release. Bring your hands about a palm length up, curl the toes under. Remember to check your wrist creases. Don't have the fingers in, don't have them too far out. We do, you know, externally rotate the shoulders here, but we're also deepening the armpits by rotating the inner elbows towards each other a little bit. It's like it's a balance. Just curl the toes under, bring the hips up and back. Line up your ears with the inner arms. And maybe pedal the feet. You can be still here if you need stillness. Or you can move the body if the body needs movement. The thing about yoga is that you just don't think about it too much. If you have the option, just do it. How does your shoulder feel in down dog, Kate? Okay. What if you like rotate your shoulders out a little bit? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, do that then in your down dog. Okay, let's look up and step forward. Exhale, fold. Keep pulling the shoulders back. Inhale, come all the way up. Palms together, exhale, hands in front of the heart. And we'll just take a pause here. Make sure you're not lightheaded or anything. You can bring the arms down, and then we'll do those 3 breaths again that we were just doing when we were sitting. Find your mountain pose legs. So inner edges of the feet are parallel, press the ball mounts, get nice strong legs, lift the chest. And so the arms are not doing the work here, the shoulder blades are. So relax the arms and draw the inner edges of the shoulder blades towards each other. The lower inner parts of the shoulder blades should be pressing into the back to lift the chest. And then inhale, reach up. Palms together, exhale down. Inhale, reach. Palms together, exhale down. Last time, inhale, reach up. And exhale down. Release the arms, grab your straps. Okay, so we're gonna do the monkey arms, Gomukhasana, whatever we wanna call it. I'm just gonna show you, because Sammy, we might have done this, and I'm trying to remember if we did it in the alignment class. You know what we're doing, so you might not need the strap. So basically we need to ground our shoulder and rotate the pinky in with this right strap in our right arm. And then once the bicep is by the ear, rotate your pinky in towards the middle. Yeah, your arm is not even really straightening right now, much at all. You can tell it hurts. Okay, bend at the elbow to drop the palm down the middle, like towards the middle of the shoulder blades. And then reach with your left hand. The thumb will be pointing down because we're rotating in as we bring the fingertips up. So you end up grabbing the fingers or grab your strap and just pull down, and this will open up the shoulders. Okay, good. Yeah, that looks great. Now lift the pelvic floor, zip up the belly, keep the chest lifted. Is your arm okay here? Do you feel a stretch? Okay. All right, just breathe. Try to sink the trapezius. Yeah. Go ahead and release. Just bring everything down and we'll just start over on the other side. Yeah. If you feel like you need to rotate it, rotate your shoulder a little bit, go ahead. Grabbing the strap in your left hand, So fix your feet, make sure you're standing with Tadasana legs, not in alignment. Rotate the pinky towards the middle. So this is gonna sink the humeri back in the socket and bring your bicep closer because of it. Bend at the elbow, hand pointing down. Reach as far as you can with your fingers down. And then right thumb points down. And as you reach back, you're internally rotating the whole time. Grab the strap or grab your fingers. And just pull down. Because even if you, like my right shoulder is the one that's always tighter. And even though it's my left arm that's up right now, I feel it really good in my right shoulder, like in the front. It's a painting injury that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a lot. I really admire people that have painting jobs. Take one more breath. Yeah, where's your body out? Go ahead and release. Ooh. Yeah. Move the shoulders around. Put the strap down for now. We are going to use it one more time, but come to the front of your mat. We're going to do warrior 1 and warrior 3. Okay. For both of them, we'll interlace the fingers behind the back and lift the chest. So first, let's get the legs. Left leg is going to come back. Hips point forward, just like we were doing with gate pose, and then bend into the knee. The longer you do this pose, the more deeply you'll be able to go into it. The back foot is angled, I don't know, about 45 degrees, right? Is that 45 or 60? Okay, so help us, Amy, with that math. Okay, interlace your fingers behind the back. Inhale, lengthen, and just keep reaching up here, okay? Get as far as you can, open up the shoulders, press the feet because we're gonna exhale and come forward and lift the arms up. Inhale, come back up. Good, release the hands. So the fingers are still pointing back, and we're gonna start to tip forward. So still reach with your fingertips, start to slide this left foot forward, and then slowly come up into warrior 3, which is lifting the back leg, toes pointing down. Your toes don't even have to, get off the ground. Honestly, you just tip forward. Try to take a breath or two. And then when you're done, bend the standing knee and bring both feet together. So you can just come into a standing position safely. Yeah. And then we'll do the other side. Starting at the front of your mat in mountain pose, bring the right leg back. So you'll know what angle your own foot needs. It depends on how tight your hips are. Like my foot, well, first of all, my hips are pretty wide. So we've all had children here. I don't know if people watching this recording still, if you have wide hips, give yourself some space, widen your stance, not lengthen, widen your stance. And then, so if my hip is tight here, I might need to even come at more of an angle. If I do this, if I do an angle like this, then my hips are not pointing straight forward anymore. And that's what I need. Okay, bend the front knee, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, lengthen. Just keep opening here, pulling the knuckles down and the collarbones up. And then exhale, fold. Let the fingers come up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, come all the way back up. That's enough on the legs today. Release, fingertips point backwards. Does it feel like your arms just want to float up after holding them? Start to tip forward, coming into that warrior 3. So again, micro bend in the standing knee. Your back toes don't even need to leave the ground, but eventually you'll come parallel to the ground. Foot flex, toes pointing down. And breathe. Try to take at least 3 breaths here. Good. Pull the shoulders back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And when you're done, you're going to bend the standing knee and then just bring both feet together. Good. That was great. That's a tough one. Yeah. Okay, grab your strap again.
It's hard not to point my toe. Like the dancer in me wants to always point my toe and flex. And so I have to consciously tell myself to like flex my foot. So I don't know if that throws off the muscles or whatever, but sometimes it's more calf than it is thigh.
Exactly. And that's why we flex the foot. It's not to help with the internal rotation 100%. It's also for engaging either the quadriceps or the hamstrings.
Okay.
Right. If you're pointing your toe, the quadriceps are going to do the work. If in that case, your hamstrings have to, so the foot is flexed to engage. Yeah, that's exactly right. And there are sometimes when we do point the toe, and then there's also, let me show you. I'll show you the three, this will be good on video. Okay. So we have the flex, the point, and then the floint, where we press through the
That's a made up word. That's not true.
I'm pretty sure it's a made up word, but it's in between the flex and the point. So you're pressing through the ball mount of the big toe. And that one we use a ton.
Okay.
So yeah. And that was actually a really good angle of how to do those three with the feet.
Right?
That was so good. Okay. So take your strap, separate your feet, coming into a wide stance. Strap is going to be behind the back. So as you're grabbing the strap, your palms will be facing forward. You can grab it, but palms are facing forward. The arms are going to be straight. The inner edges of the feet are straight. You can end up like Kate, your shoulders are tighter right now, so you might have to slide your hands further away. Feel where your edge is, and then if you're super flexible, the hands have to stay closer together. But we'll just see what happens. So inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, tip forward, keep the arms straight and bring the arms up and over by the head. And we're just going to stay here and breathe. Yeah, that's really good. Good. So zip up the abdominals, the bandhas, the transverse abdominals. Keep the legs strong. And see if you can hinge forward a little bit more and drop the head towards the floor. Yeah, and Sammy, you can actually separate your feet a little bit more. That might be easier on your hamstrings. And Kate, you can come up if you're ready to, but you can also just hang out here and breathe. Good. Yep, just take a few more breaths. And then keep your legs strong. Inhale, come all the way up. Use your strength to bring you up. Good. And then you can release the strap. We're gonna bring it in front of the body now. The feet are gonna be hip width apart. So this one can be weird, all right? I know you've done this one before, but if you move a certain way, it's not gonna feel the same way. So we are trying to keep our legs planted. The knees are gonna shift a little bit, but we start with our arms up here, holding the strap, and you'll know how far it should be because you just saw what your range of motion was. Keep the hips as forward as possible and rotate to the right. And then staying here, but bending the knees, stretch the left side of the body as you go down, sweep across the front of your feet and rotate to the left. And then shoulders stack, come up and over. We're doing that 2 more times. Rotate to the right, come down. So we're just doing big circles here for the shoulders and just really open up when you come up to standing. Once you do them 3 times clockwise, go in the other direction. Does this feel good on the shoulders? Okay. Yep, so when you're done, just go in the other direction. Let your torso be strong, but let the arms stretch. Good. And when you're done, go ahead and put the strap down. Doesn't that feel good with the strap? It just does. Mhm. Okay, we're gonna focus on the legs just a little bit, but the arms are gonna be open too. So separate the feet, toes pointing out. So when we're doing this pose, like goddess pose, we're trying, it doesn't look like it in the camera, Sammy, but the knees are pressing open to try to keep them over the ankles. This requires a lot of strength, but yeah, open, like separate your feet as much as you need to. We're gonna open up 3 times here. So inhale, bring your arms up. And now exhale, open up the elbows, bend the elbows. Keep pressing the heels. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Last time, inhale, reach up. And exhale, pull down. Press your heels, come back to standing. Bring the toes in. Woo. Yeah, do they? It takes a lot of leg strength, I'll say that. Bend your right knee. And we're either going to figure 4 or try to hold the foot. I want to see where you're. Okay. Are you able to hold your foot? Like, is that as high up as it goes? And you can use some wall or something. Holy cow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, you're super flexible, which is, I don't know why I haven't seen your leg do that. Okay. So bring it into half lotus then. And here's the difference. Like your left leg as you stand is going to be the thing strengthening right now. Keep a micro bend in the standing knee so you don't lock it out. And then just right hand in front of the heart. Keep pressing the knee down. Lift the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And then we're going to release this right hand and we're going to point the toes of the right leg, hands on the waist. 1, 2, 3, and release. And that was for hamstrings and hip flexors for sure, which I'm sure you felt. Other side, half lotus with the left. Have a focus point, doesn't matter where it is. Just look somewhere and keep looking at the same spot. Lift the chest. Pressing the knee down and lifting and spreading the collarbones. And then we're going to release the hand, point the foot, hands on the hips. 1, 2, 3, and release. Good. Come to the front of your mat. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. Lower all the way down. Okay. And then come up onto your forearms. So we're going to do a stretch with the arms here. And really, like when you're having some sort of pain in the body, you want to look at the things that you can strengthen. We're not going to do cobras and stuff today, but you know that's what you can do using the muscles in the back of the body. What we're going to do here, okay, good, you can see me. And we're going to do a very awkward arm stretch, but it feels really good. I think you've done this before. Take your right hand to the left corner of the mat, and then the left hand to the right corner, and then just reach your fingertips as far away as you can, and your chin will rest down. And it's very awkward, but it's a very deep stretch for the arms. Do you feel it? Okay. And breathe here. And then we'll start to walk them back so we can flip arms. So just very slowly undo the left arm, undo the right. Come back to your forearms. And now reach the left arm, left hand to the right corner, right hand to the left, and just walk the fingers away from each other. And this is where like you could, feels like you could choke yourself out here, but it's worth it. It's worth the stretch. You can put your chin wherever it's comfortable. If you're pressing your fingers into the floor, you'll feel it even more. And then we'll start to walk this right hand back and then the left. Bring your hands to the lower ribs. Only use the muscles in the back of the body and then your legs to lift you up. Yep, come back in a child's pose. Big toes together. I guess the arms had to work there too. Knees apart, walk the hands forward, forehead on the mat. And so sometimes it feels really good here to roll the forehead back and forth, or just to bring a little bit of rocking to the body. It can be soothing. But if you find that you just want to be still, just be still. Reach the arms as far as you can. Press the hands. If your arms are tired at this point, if you want to rest them by grabbing down towards the feet, you can also. We're going to take about 5 breaths here. Find that pause at the end of the exhale. Bring your hands back to the mat if they're not already, and then start to walk the hands towards the body or lift the head. We're going to come to hands and knees one more time so we can do thread the needle and just finish off the arm stuff. You look, are you in pain?
I mean,
It's a good pain. It sounds so like, that does not sound like happy stuff.
it's not, it's what you, I mean, I have to do.
Yeah. Okay. When you're here, make sure you're pressing the roots of the fingers. Yeah. And make the shoulder blades work. Okay. So take the left hand to the center of the mat first. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, slide this right hand under the left. Keep the left hand active as you reach the right fingertips as far as you can. Reach them as far as you can. Come into the deepest twist you can. Rest your head on the floor. And then see if this gets deep under the shoulder blade for you. Do you feel a stretch here, Kate?
Mhm.
Okay. Take a few more breaths. If you bend your elbow and bring your hand close to your body, how does that, and reach your right fingertips further, does that make the stretch more, or is it too painful?
It does make it
More?
stretch more, but it can't go that far.
Okay. Yeah, okay. On your next inhale, come back up to hands and knees, and we'll do the other side. So right hand comes to the center, inhale the left arm up, and then exhale, slide it under. Go as far as you can. And rest the head. And breathe into the back. Breathe between the shoulder blades.
It's just amazing how it's stress can like reach through your body. Like, so if I had a problem with something for a long time.
Yeah.
Stress, it's just like, oh, okay, we'll go back to this.
Stress is such a quiet killer, you know, because it manifests in the body in so many different ways, and it's dangerous. Or it's just miserable, you know, like it ends up in the shoulders or something. Inhale, come all the way up. Go ahead and cross at the ankles. You're going to lie down on your back. We're going to do, you know, another thing or two lying down, and then it will be Shavasana time. So once you're lying down, go ahead and straighten the left leg. Bring your right heel as close to the body as you can with, you know, the knee bent, obviously. And we're going to open up this right hip. So drop your knee out to the side. It's like doing tree pose lying down, a supine tree pose. And then you can bring the arms up overhead, or you can keep them down. You decide. You can grab the elbows, opposite elbows over your head. That's an option. Whatever you do with your hands, still pay attention to your left leg. Keep the toes pointing up. So this left leg is still active. Bring your arms down. And use your hand to help lift this knee up towards the ceiling, just because if it, we just don't want to injure it. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, get the heel as close as you can to the body, and then drop it out to the left. And so here, if you want to keep your hands down this time, you can. If it felt good to have them overhead, do that. You choose. If you're feeling the glutes want to engage to push the hips open, let them engage. Keep the right leg active. And then bring your hands back to, if they're up, bring them down and support your left knee coming back up towards the ceiling. You can straighten that leg. And then we're going to take one more hug of the knees, maybe bring it into happy baby. Just be sure that as you're hugging the knees, you lift the tailbone so the lower back is flat as you rock back and forth. And if you want to bring this into happy baby, you grab the insides of the legs or the inside bottoms of the feet, and then press the knees towards the mat or towards the floor. Either way, you can rock a little bit back and forth. And then bring the knees back together. Drop the feet. Take a long stretch. Circle the wrists and ankles. And then get comfortable for your relaxation. So if you want to put socks on, grab a blanket, close the blinds, something like that. Get as comfortable as possible. Once you're ready, have the arms along the sides of the body. Separate the feet. Make sure your chin is just a little bit lower than the forehead. And this just releases the neck muscles. So if the chin is too high, the neck is working. If the chin is too low, the neck is overstretching. So we're just looking for that neutral point. Begin to take some deep breaths. Just inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Whatever stuff is still floating around the body that is just not serving you, let it leave through the breath as you exhale. Soften the muscles in the face. Bring your awareness to the neck, softening the throat. And then releasing the muscles in the back of the neck entirely. And follow that release of the muscles into the tops of the shoulders. The entire upper back and the shoulder blades. Feel where you might be gripping or where there's tightness. And release. Notice how this allows the arms to be heavy. Feeling the entire body soften. For the next few moments, just allow yourself to breathe and to be. And when the mind wanders, it's okay. Just bring it back to the breath. Bring your awareness back to your breath. And only when you're motivated to do so, start to wiggle the fingers and the toes slowly, being sure to gently wake the body. And then move into more movements, wrists, ankles, bending the knees. Just do what feels good here. Don't think about it, just do it. And then when you're ready, roll onto your right side. Use your arm as a pillow. And still find release here. Let the belly hang to the floor, keep the body soft. Enjoy these last few moments of stillness. Be fully present for yourself. Go ahead and push yourself back to any seated position that's comfortable for you. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you for letting me guide you today. The teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in you. Thank you. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you both so much. I hope you